All right, hi, merry meet and welcome. I want to welcome everybody who's with us virtually here for 2022's first Sabbat Imbolc. Welcome, come on in, find some chairs. For everybody who's here in class with us or in ritual space with us, please take a moment and silence cell phones or whatnot, put them on vibrate or anything. If you have to step out, it's okay to go ahead and step out of sacred space for that. And I want to welcome everybody who is joining us in the virtual space. My name is Myra. I'm the owner of Hearth Wisdom Store. I see a bunch of new faces. Again, who is here for the first time for ritual again? Okay, sacrificial, no, I'm kidding. Hunger Games, you know, so prepare the sacrifice. Everybody here in space, do you guys all have your bags? We got some logistics that we want to make sure that we're covering for today's ritual because you have the tools with you. And for everybody who's joining us virtually, I want to set you up with some logistics and some overview of this ritual and ceremony that we're going to be doing as well. I'm going to be incorporating some tools that were in our Imbolc box, in our Imbolc kit box, and kind of use them in a little bit of a different way to kind of hopefully inspire or to celebrate the holiday season. What? Oh, there you got some folks in the back there. If you're joining us from home and you want to gather up some supplies, I'm going to give you kind of an idea real quick. You can get those supplies quickly so that you can follow along. You're going to need some kind of canister or bowl. Everyone here's got a bowl. If you didn't get the instructions, please put your name or a sigil on the bowl so that you can find the bowl, because you're going to be placing the bowl somewhere on one of these tables after you've prepped it and prepared it, and I want you to be able to recover it because this is a working magic that we're creating today. It's going to take you over the next couple of days so that you can celebrate the season in its entirety. You're going to, for those who are at home, you're going to need 4 oils, an anointing oil, an herbal blend. I actually made this Imbolc herbal blend with the herbs that were in the kit. So that's a combined combination of jasmine, rose, basil was in there, chamomile was in there, put some sage or whatnot. And then you're going to also want a petition paper, something to possibly hold the candle. And later you're going to need a piece of twine because what we're going to be working on is going to be incorporated kind of in the next one. So that we're trying to do more incorporation, more I guess infusion of tools and seasons and whatnot, and kind of help put this together so that you can kind of create your own practice or kind of see how that practice is used instead of just like participating and showing up in a ceremony or a ritual. Have that be incorporated into your life and give you some ideas of ways of how incorporating that spirituality in your life. So there's going to be things that you're going to take away from tonight's ritual that you're going to use later on, because Imbolc or Bridgid's Day or Candlemas, as it's also known, is actually over the 1st and the 2nd of February. So we're getting a little bit of head start. We're going to use and leverage the new moon energy that we have starting tomorrow to help build and incorporate that momentum of energy through the season as well. So if you want to go grab those items, if you're following along, if you have the kit, I'm going to actually be using components from the kit. And those who are here with us, guess what? This is what you're going to get since it's opened and whatnot. But all of the pieces are in here. That's what your raffle ticket's for. If somebody's going to walk away with one of our Imbolc kits, which are sold out, by the way. So you have some additional tools. And I'm going to share some ideas about what else you can do with some of the things that are in here to kind of, carry that along through the season. So, okay. Quick overview of this Sabbat and the intention for this this ritual. Who is new to this path and isn't as familiar with the pagan holidays? Kind of like to know. Wow! Oh my gosh! Oh, I'm sorry. That seemed a little judgmental. That didn't. I'm sorry. No, that's great. I think that's my wow about that is that over the years we've been here for almost 7 years, and I've watched our pagan community really grow and expand, and we've had so many new people kind of come to this path. But we have kind of discovered. A lot of people have kind of discovered paganism or their spiritual path in a little bit of a vacuum, without community, without gathering, without mentorship or anything like that, and have really just been kind of trying to find their way as much as they possibly can. And so that's an amazing wow. It's also an exciting wow, because that means there's so many new practitioners and whatnot, and this is a great chance to kind of explore this. So Imbolc is one of several pagan holidays and traditions that are practiced throughout the year. It's not the first one in the wheel. Yule is technically the first one in the wheel, but it is the first one that we experience in the new year. And it overlaps a couple other different traditions. It's called Candlemas in Christianity. It's still practiced as a mass, a celebration of light, and a celebration of the return of light to the season. Imbolc falls between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, and so it's a midway Sabbat, between those more like seasonal or kind of seasoned tribute points in our year. And the whole purpose of Imbolc is to celebrate the return of, or the promise, really the promise of the spring coming back, the sun coming back, and things warming up. Now, here in Texas, it's pretty warm. It's January. I know there's folks who are joining us virtually from other states and are buried under a blanket of snow, and I'm from the north and whatnot. And, it can be very challenging during this time of the year because everything feels a little cold, a little desolate, a little, isolating sometimes as well. And there's a
Indian style right here on the floor. No, I'm just kidding with you. Right here, no, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with my preachers. I'm probably gonna.
Imbolc reminds us that the sun always comes back. I'm from the north, and sometimes there are indications that the earth is warming up long before the snow actually melts. And so that's what we're celebrating. In folklore tradition about paganism, the story behind Imbolc is that, if you remember, Yule was the rebirth of the sun god, and so now in Imbolc, the sun god is in his adolescence, and he is rejoining with the goddess in her maiden form, and they will be joined together as we move through the seasons, leading all the way up till Beltane, and celebrate their union and their companionship. So right now we get to celebrate the youthfulness of the sun god, but this is also called Bridgid's Day. Saint Brigid. Bridgid is a goddess. She's one of the more, I was to say, not multi-purpose, that isn't the right word. Bridgid shows up in different traditions, so she shows up in Christianity, she shows up in Celtic paganism. She's even one of the only fair-skinned Lawa in Haitian voodoo, and she is Mama Bridgid. And so she shows up in a lot of different formats, and she is the patron goddess of Imbolc. She is a triple goddess. She is the goddess of the home and hearth. She is also goddess of the fire and of the working with tools and whatnot. She's a goddess of death and rebirth and renewal, and she's also a goddess of healing. And so we are celebrating her and calling upon her and working with her energy during this time of the year, during the celebration. Okay, so for those who just joined us, everyone's got their bowls, everyone's got their tools with you. During Yule, we consecrated our word. So if you weren't here during Yule, we created a word for 2022, and we consecrated that as part of our Yule log. I see some heads nodding. So when we move into a new year, a new spirit, now we have to do the work. And that's one of the interesting things about this time of the year, is that this holiday actually falls on a new moon in Aquarius, with a relationship to Saturn. And Saturn is the energy that's pushing us to that, hey, we're gonna have to do some work, and now this is when we take that word and we put it into action, and we put it into manifestation, because with a new moon, that is when we have expansion energy. We get to call and bring things to us. We let things go on a full moon because it's diminishing, but during a new moon, we get to call things to us to grow that energy. So while we're working on our ritual today, there's some things that I want you to be keeping in mind. For those of you who are here, you have a petition paper in your bag. And what you're going to be writing on that petition paper that you may not know just now are one of three things. You're going to write down what you want, what you need, and what you deserve. Yeah, that last one's a little hard, isn't it? It's hard because sometimes we don't acknowledge what we deserve, okay? So while we're working on ritual and as we're getting everything set and getting ready everything for ceremony, and if you're joining us virtually online, I want you to keep those three things in mind as part of your petition, because during this new moon, this is what we're going to be drawing to us, what we want, what we need, what we deserve, okay? All right, we ready to get started? Okay. A lot of first-timers online. Well, welcome, welcome. What you want, what you need, and what you deserve. It does not have to be in that order. Yeah. Oh, Nemo, can you get another pen over here, please?
That one.
Okay. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Yeah. Okay.
See if there's like a little waxy tip on the end.
Yeah, if there's a little tip on there, there might be a little ball. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. You do not have to have those words just yet while we're working. I just want you guys to be thinking about that and be prepared to have that ready to go when we start formulating our magical workings. Okay. We gather today at the fading edge of darkness. We watch winter fade and prepare for new beginnings. We burn away the holly, the ivy, and the pine of Yule, and we make way for rebirth. Today is a celebration of fire and light. We welcome the light once more. We gather today at the rising edge of light. We welcome back spring. We come together to renew our hopes and our dreams. We shed off the cloaks and coverings that wrapped us during our retreat into the darkness, and today is a celebration of life and healing. We rise up together to heal ourselves in order to heal each other. We welcome the light once more. We call upon our ancestors to stand with us and guide us in this rite, and we light this as a symbol of the fires that they lit so long ago. We bid our ancestors hail and welcome. Creature of salt, we call upon you to banish all negativity and be blessed in the name of light and love. So shall it be. Creature of water, we call upon you to wash away all negativity and be blessed in the name of light and love. So shall it be. Creature of salt and water, we join you in peace and unity, and we ask for your cleansing and protection in this rite. I'm going to bring this bowl and I'm going to walk straight down the middle, and I might get you wet, and I'm not sorry about it, okay? Again, splash zone, right? Spiritual splash zone. Hey, spiritual does enter our waking realm. Say that 3 times fast. This is also a way for you to witness that there's adaptation when it comes to spiritual practices. You know, I think sometimes we get locked in the idea of casting circle has to be an actual circle. This is spiritual space. You'll notice for those who had come in here, we had prepared this as a spiritual space before you even came in. We drew lines and barriers across open areas in order to create protections and whatnot. So if you're working in smaller spaces or confined spaces and have the idea of being able to do circle, it's okay. It doesn't have to actually be circle. The idea of casting circle is the idea of creating protection. It's about creating purification and whatnot. So now we do smoke cleansing. Call upon the old gods to purify this gathering and those within it. I promise I won't set anyone on fire. I promise I won't impale anybody. By the powers of the old gods, I draw a barrier to protect and contain the energies raised within. We are going to call in the quarters now. So for those of you who I've already identified, you are now my new southern quarter caller. You're sitting near or next to a candle. I will need everyone to stand up because we are going to face the quarters. But if you're next to one of those candles, I'm going to ask that you light that candle when it's time for us to light that candle. I chose to use the quarters in their animal representations for this evening. And so we will be calling upon them to be reflective of the fact that there's divine energy in the world all around us. And they are our divine guides, you know, and how the different forms that divinity shows up. We're also working with Bridgid, who has a lot of Celtic traditions, and so they have a lot of familiarity with animals and animal associations with energies, and so we're honoring that tradition by using animal references. So anytime we're turning, we're towards a quarter, we basically turn over your right shoulder. So with me standing this way, I'm turning this way all the way around in order to face east. Okay, you guys are already facing east, but when it's time to turn, you turn that way towards west. Okay. With the blessings of the hawk, lift up our souls so that we may soar upon wings of joy. Spirits of the air, be with us. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Okay, turn to the south. With the blessings of the great stag, fill us with the thrill of the chase so that our hearts are filled with the heat of passion. Spirits of fire, be with us. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Okay. Turn to the west. With the blessings of the salmon, fill us with the sacred wisdom of the pool so that our vision is clear and our hearts are pure. Spirits of the water, be with us. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Turn to the north. Blessings of the great bear, guide our feet so that we may find peace and abundance within the fruitfulness of the earth. Spirits of earth, be with us. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
You can go ahead and sit down. We have come from the east and the west, from the north and the south to gather here together. May there be peace among us, and as above, so below, so mote it be. I took an invocation of Bridgid out of our Imbolc kit. It's important that when we are working, even if we're doing informal magic and our ceremonies are a little bit informal, and whenever we're doing invocation for the deities, I try to do a little bit more formality with each one of those deities. Bridgid, bright goddess, who is three within one, bright golden goddess, attend to us now. You were born with the blaze of the morning sun, flame from heaven to earth, arrow bright. Goddess Bridgid of the Tuatha du Danann, ancient goddess alive in the shrine of Kildare, tended by priestess daughters of the flame. For 19 days the candles are lit, by 19 priestesses, each in her turn. Perpetual flames kept alive in your honor. By the 20th candle no priestess will light. For you bring the flame, and you light the candle. You are the dancing flame in every hearth fire, fire in the head, fire of inspiration, fire in the hands, fire of healing, fire in the belly, fire of midwifery, fire in the forge, fire of craft. Snowdrops grow where your feet touch the earth. In rake hearth ashes you divine us with signs. We hear you in rhythms of forge hammers tapping. In rivers and brooks we hear your laughter. In the morning sun we feel your embrace. You open the door to springtime, the ewes and milk, when the lambing and the planting will take up our time. We will go to your sacred wells and offer them up. Coins, flowers, garlands, rings, chants and rhymes, candles, bright flames, snowflakes, and ice. Bridgid, bright goddess, who is three within one, Bridgid, golden goddess, attend to us now. Beloved goddess Bridgid, gentle maiden, bathed in the white milk of nurturing, we give you this offering, and we ask your blessings upon this circle, these sacred items, and all those who are gathered here. It's a blend of milk and honey and a lemon bean. We bid you hail and welcome. Now the goddess is here in attendance with her consort, the young adolescent sun god, which I brought in Apollo because Apollo reminds us of youth, and it reminds us of that playfulness and that song and that vibrant young energy at this season. Hail to the young sun god. You are known to us by many names. You are the god of renewal, playful and full of life, the god of the wild places. You are the Lord who will soon join the lady when the spring rains come. Steady our hearts and take away our fears. Let them be swallowed up in the flames that is you. As the days grow longer and the nights grow shorter, guide us and help us to look inward to find what we want and need to burn brighter. May your light continue to grow and be a beacon of hope. Beloved God of many faces, Lord of the sun, bringer of the light, we ask you to bring blessings upon the circle, these sacred items, and all those who are attended here. We bid you hail and welcome. Okay, for all of you, has everyone had a chance to get their petition written down? Did you come up with your three things, your wants, your needs, and what you deserve? I'm not going to make you say them out loud or share with them. They are private for you. And so what you're going to do is in your bag, there should be a little vial of oil. With this oil, you want to anoint your petition paper. And if you've never done that before, the way that you anoint a petition or you anoint a candle, especially when it's energy focused on bringing something to you or something that you want to attract, because I'm hoping these are all things you want to attract and bring to you, okay? You pull that anointing oil, or you pull that towards you. So as you anoint a candle or as you anoint a petition paper, you want to use just a little bit on your fingers, and what you're using that to pull that towards you. And you turn the paper, pull it towards you again, pull it towards you again. The whole time while you're doing this, it would be helpful if you are thinking about the wants, the needs, and what you deserve, and bringing that to you, closer to you. And when you're ready, fold that paper towards you as well. Anything that you're ever wanting to repel, you push it away from you or you fold it away from you. But in this case, because we're looking to attract something, we want to pull everything towards us. And you're bringing that into you, you're pulling it, kind of like the law of attraction, where you see that coming into you and coming into your space. So. Okay, for those who joined us, you're writing down what you want, what you need, and what you deserve on your petition paper. When you're done with that, you're going to place your petition paper in the bottom of your bowl, or maybe on the side of your bowl. We're trying not to catch the petition paper on fire, so it's not a big deal if it does. It will just turn into ash. You're going to be able to use the items in your bowl later.
You pull it towards you.
Pull it towards you. Yep. So you fold it towards you. Pull the oil. Pull the drawing in. You fold it towards you. You know, like I've got 3 petitions in my one bowl because my husband's not able to join us, and Tara is off screen pulling monitor duties. Okay. And once you've got your petition paper in your bowl, I want you to grab your candles. You can set your bowl down for the moment. In your pack, we have 4 different candles for you who are joining us. It doesn't matter what color your candles are. I put specific colored candles in your pouches for this the ritual. We have silver for our new moon, okay, which is the candle we're going to start with. We have pink for our maiden energy, maiden goddess energy. We have green for our mother energy, and then we have blue for our crone energy. And what you're going to do with each one of these, we're going to bless each one of these candles, again, with that oil. Try not to get oil on the wick. It can cause interference with the burn. And we're going to start with our moon candle first, and we're going to bless our moon candle. You're going to bless all of the candles, but we're only burning the moon candle tonight. Okay? You're going to take the rest of this home as a working magical craft and work with it over the next couple of days as we move through Imbolc energy, as Imbolc is observed somewhere between the 1st and the 2nd of February. So it's a whole season. It doesn't have to be done on any one particular day. But we're starting with our moon energy because our new moon is tomorrow. And we want to use that expansion and drawing energy to start the magic. Okay, so you're going to take a little bit of your oil, and you do not have to repeat this. I'm going to say this prayer out loud. I just want you to feel it and to think about it. I usually will hold it pointing out away from me and pull it this way towards me. Okay. Great. Hail to the new moon, ever expanding and growing. Out of darkness, new light emerges to illuminate the path ahead of me so that I can see where I am headed in the journey before me. Bring light and expanding awareness to this petition. So mote it be. Okay. Set that one aside because we're going to use it tonight. Move on to your pink candle. Okay. All right, same thing, you're going to want to pull it towards you. Hail to the maiden. Your youth and energy fuels my passion. You inspire new beginnings and new hope. Bring momentum and vitality to this petition. So mote it be. Now to our mother. Hail to the mother, nurturing and loving. You are the vessel for which all of our hopes and dreams are born into this reality. Bring actualization and manifestation to this petition. So mote it be. And lastly, our crone. Hail to the crone, wise and knowing. Help me see the wisdom and lessons necessary to continue to expand. Bring understanding and enlightenment to this petition. So mote it be. Okay. All of your candles have been now charged with your intention so that you can use them through the next couple of days. Start with your maiden and then move through all the way to your crone at the pace in which you want to focus on. For now, we are going to start with our moon candle. In your bag, you have a little pouch of herbs that we've blended together to help celebrate and pull in this energy. If you were using the Imbolc kit, I literally mixed everything that was in the Imbolc kit together and infused that into a blend. In this case, less is more. Please do not put all of the herbs in your bowl. You just need to sprinkle it on top of your petition paper and on with your candle holder that's in here. This is going to go underneath just to protect it in case it gets hot, so it's kind of like a coaster, okay? You're not going to light this until you get a chance to, this is where I do my, what do we call it, the flight attendant. There are tables on either side of you. Find the nearest table to you. And then you will light the candle there because we do not want to set you nor your friends in this room on fire, okay? But that herbal blend, what you want to do is just kind of circle it around your candle. You're blessing this candle. You're using the infusion of the herbs within this mixture to bless that. And that's when you can say your own personal prayer, maybe to re-emphasize and reiterate what you need, what you want, and what you deserve as you're doing it. And once you're done, you want to probably squeeze the tongs on your candle holder to hold up that silver candle. When you're ready, take your bowl and your candle to one of the tables. There are lighters on those tables, and go ahead and light your candle, okay? One of the things that was included in our kit is we had an Imbolc spread, like a tarot spread. I love working with tarot. It's one of my favorite passions in life. You know, I teach it here and whatnot. And each season, there's a chance for us to kind of gain some additional insight. Because, I mean, at this point, we have created sacred space where the veil is a little bit lower, where we've called in spirit, we've called in ancestors, we've called in guides and deity. It's a great time to also ask for some additional guidance and some additional insight. I pulled the 4 cards that were on this spread that was in the kit. They represent the first position, what you need to leave behind, the seeds that need to be planted now, and then the third position is what will inspire you this spring, and a message from the goddess. And so I'm going to flip those cards over, take a look at them, and give that as a message so that you can take how you want. If you want something more personalized, you could do this for yourself in a little bit more of a personal context, okay? All right, so the first card is what you need to leave behind. And I have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords tells us that we need to leave behind fear and limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs, the things that hold us trapped in our own mindscape, that tell us that we can't be successful, that we can't get out of a situation, or that we can't move forward. What I see in this card is a sword that's being forged. And when swords are, when metal is experiencing extreme heat, it is strengthened in the process. It becomes stronger in the heat or in the pressure of something. And so I also see on the sides of it that there are a couple of broken swords. So that idea that you can cut down your limitations, cut through barriers, cut through limitations in order to rise up and be stronger. And so this is what you need to leave behind. In the number 2 position, the seeds that need to be planted now. Oh, I love this card. This is like one of my favorite cards. The Magician. And so the seeds that need to be planted now. I just actually taught a class yesterday for tarot, and we were talking about the infinity in tarot. In this case, the lemniscate that is on top of the magician's head. That infinity symbol means that there are always cycles to everything. I've often talked about the fact that the magician is the actualization of from the fool. You know, that when the fool goes on the journey, the first person that they meet is the magician, and that's who they become when they have gone through the entire fool's journey, after they've learned everything, after they've experienced everything, with the recognition that once you become the magician, you are now the fool in a new journey. It's a loop, it's a cycle. But one of the powerful things about the magicians, the seeds that need to be planted now. So the magician is the master of manifestation. The magician knows how to use all of the tools, all of the elements in front of them to bring things from the spiritual mindset, the ideals, so like the things that you've written down on your papers or the things that you have ideals, and to bring that into reality, into manifestation. And so planting that seed and tapping into that energy now to say, this is what I need and what I want and what I deserve, how to make that a reality. And the magician is the energy so a lot of this I'm going to say is that you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you are the magician in your life. Okay. Number 3 is what will inspire you this spring. I love the images on this. Okay, it's the 4 of Wands. It's particularly a good card or an interesting artistic rendering of this card because I see a phoenix in this card. And the 4 of Wands is a celebratory card. It's also a portal card. It's a gateway to transform, and phoenixes are transformative in nature. They are reborn beings and energy that is out there. And so what will inspire this season? Well, I would say one is to understand that you're not truly alone like a phoenix is. A phoenix is one of a kind, that you are surrounded by, you can break free of that. I see in this picture, the phoenix looks to be chained to the wands, but has broken those chains. And so breaking free from that loneliness, maybe that isolation, to celebrate the portals of the things that are opening up to you and the doorways that are allowing you to move forward, and to rise. That's the word that just came to mind, is to rise. Lastly, a message from the goddess. This is a hangman. It's a very interesting rendition of the hangman. What I see in this card is an interesting variation of the hangman where it looks like the hangman has broken his neck. And it looks like he's spilling gold from his mouth. But at his feet, there are butterflies at the top of his feet. The hangman is the middle of the major arcana. It is the position that divides our spiritual journey, or physical journey, and our spiritual journey. It's kind of the linchpin of the major arcana. And the message behind the hangman is surrender. You know, the idea that you have to let go of what you believed before and to surrender to the transformation and the transmutation that you must go through in order to release, and to become something completely different. You know, it looks like the butterflies are actually coming out of this disintegration of the feet of the hangman. So he's becoming something in his death or in his surrender. He is becoming something entirely different and something new. But the hangman message is always about that surrender, that you cannot transform until you let go of what was before you in order to become. And that is your message from the goddess. I will leave them up here that you guys can take a picture of it so you have a copy of it as part of messaging to take you through. Okay. All right, we are going to wrap up and close up. Before we do that, I am going to draw for the winner of our Imbolc kit. So everyone's got their cards, right, or their tickets. Yes. Oh, the twine. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Okay, after you're done with burning all of your candles and whatnot, you're going to have whatever's left over in the bowl. If your petition paper catches on fire, don't worry. Just make sure it's in a safe place and that you don't burn down anything. But if your petition paper stays intact, whatever's at the bottom of your bowl, I think it would be beneficial to put that. I'm going to put mine in a honey jar, because I want to attract that, and I want to attract that through the entire season. So I'm going to take that work. I'm actually going to use the cord to bind it, so to make it something that I'm committed to. And so I put the cord in that bowl in order to, or in the bag in order that if you have a petition paper left, bind that, and use that in whatever your tradition or something that you're comfortable doing, in order to continue that working through this next season. If it turns to ash, I would include the ash in a honey jar as well too, and put it in there because that was the intention. You might decide to bury it in your garden, to allow it to grow. Particularly if it's something with your home, it's okay to put it in a potted plant in your home and let it grow. Put it in your backyard and bury it in your backyard and let it grow as well. Okay. Congratulations. Okay, you can pick it up after ritual, so excellent. Okay, I'm so glad that we get to do this again. All right, in closing, we are going to dismiss our quarters, dismiss our deity, and whatnot. Your candles are going to be left out to kind of burn while we gather. Hopefully by the time you leave, they will be burned down, and you will have the bowl to take with you after and to continue this working. Okay. All right. The light grows strong again, and life begins to quicken beneath the snow. The fire within the earth rises with the promise of new life and creativity. We shrug off the blanket of winter and follow the light as we are awakened from our slumber and at last take our first breath of spring. Beloved God, we thank you for your attendance in this rite, and we will take your light from this place out into the world and remember that you are always with us. We bid you hail and farewell. Hail. Beloved Goddess, we thank you for your attendance in this rite. We will take your light from this place out into the world and remember that you are always with us. We bid you hail and farewell. Okay. If you could please stand so we can dismiss the quarters. Okay, we start where we ended last, which is in the north. So, spirits of earth, we thank you for being with us. We now bid you hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. Okay, turn west. Spirits of water, we thank you for being with us, and we bid you hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. Spirits of south, we thank you for your attendance in this rite, and we bid you hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. Spirits of the east, we thank you for your attendance in this rite, and we bid you hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. Okay. You can go ahead and sit down. I'm going to need to get right through there. I'm not going to impale somebody. By the powers of the old gods, the magic is complete. The circle is open, but remains unbroken. And we want to thank you for your attendance in this ritual. I know it was long, but I hope you learned something new. I hope you experienced something new. I hope you've been inspired to do something new. And with that, I leave you with these 8 final words. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Thank you so much, everybody.
You had 2 questions real quick.
Oh, okay. I will take questions.
The first one is, would you bind your petition paper after burning all 4 candles?
Yes. Yes.
That one was for Katie.
Yes. At the end of this, you will bind it, or you will encase it, or do whatever you're going to do with it. But this is positive magic, so you want to keep it close to you. You want to add it to magic. You don't want to push it away from you.
And she also wanted to know what the honey represents.
The honey is an attractor. Okay, so it's sticky. It makes it stick to you. It attracts things to it, and so using honey within a spell allows it to then stick to your intention. It draws and it attracts that intention to you. So by putting it in a honey jar, honey is something that's also sacred to Bridgid, so that's the reason why it was in the milk. You know, again, I'm layering all of those intentions and magic together. Okay. Alrighty. Any more questions?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody who joined us virtually and stuck with us. And if you're catching this in the replay later on, I wish you a very bright blessings during this Imbolc season. And I look forward to possibly seeing you again at the next one. And with that, I want to wish you many blessings and blessed be. Blessed be. Okay, you guys stick around.